What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average PSA Dagger competition shooting enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is I just completed my first USPSA match with a dagger, okay? I've shot USPSA before. However, this is my first one shooting with Tatiana, the dagger, okay? So I'm just gonna give you my thoughts on how the competition went. You're gonna be seeing all the competition footage throughout this video. However, I end up editing it. You will see every stage. There were 5 stages today, and we did have one malfunction. Now, don't panic. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. For that malfunction, guys, if you want to support the channel, I need you to join the Patreon. The Patreon is $5 a month, gets you access to the Discord server where you can find buddies to train with and to game with, stay up late, talk about all your PSA Dagger fantasies and all that, okay? Thank you to my Patreon members. They are what keeps this channel sponsored and alive. Okay, so the match went well today. Like I said, did have one malfunction on stage number 2 that you'll see. That was a light primer strike. You'll be seeing that here in a minute. Now, that is the second light primer strike we've had on the gun, and overall we've had 3 malfunctions with the gun. So just keep that in mind as we go through this 10,000 round test. The gun right now is going to be around at 1,300 or so rounds. You guys can count the rounds fired today, and it will accumulate with 10,000 rounds altogether. Anyway, how do I think the match went? I would give myself a B. Okay, an overall score of a B, you know, A or S tier through F tier. I would give myself a B. I did have that one malfunction, obviously, on the classifier, but overall the dagger did really well. At this point with the dagger, at the 1,300 round mark for the standard stock, you know, Tatiana PSA Dagger that you're going to see me competing with throughout this USPSA footage today. At this point, I can recommend the gun as long as you vet it and shoot at least 300 to 400 rounds through your dagger at a minimum to make sure that it's running. I would endorse the standard dagger. Now keep in mind, we have not tested the Saber Dagger, but I did enjoy the gun, even though it had the light primer strike, and it did cost me a table today, which sucked a lot. Next thing I want to talk about for today's video, okay? So overall the comp went good, but some things I saw at the comp were dudes, two negligent discharges. Now, I asked the range safety officer, the RO, what is a ND? What is grounds for a disqualification? He told me, now this is a cop-out reply, he told me that the shooter can always say they meant to fire, so you can't say it's an ND. Me as a man and me as a shooter and as a competitor, if I have an ND, I'm going to immediately assume that I'm disqualified from the match, right? I feel like that is the honorable thing to do. That is the adult thing to do as a shooter, as a competitor. One second. So, I'll talk about the NDs that happened here today. The first negligent discharge happened with a pistol caliber carbine when a shooter was switching from right shoulder to the left shoulder. He ND'd into the berm. He did not break the 180. That to me is a no-go, okay? Now all you guys are gonna freak out, all the USPSA guys, like, listen, an ND is an ND. It's unsafe. So you guys have to bear with my voice as we are in the early stages of a drill sergeant cycle here. A new batch of drill sergeant candidates, so I have no voice. But an ND is an ND, guys. That's how I view it. So there was an ND when a shooter was switching from the right shoulder to the left shoulder. He ND'd into the berm, right? Another ND occurred with a different shooter who was shooting a 2011, and a lot of guys would call this over prep. I call it a negligent discharge. He was shooting. The gun went off when he did not want it to go off. He pulled the trigger when he did not want to pull the trigger, thus resulting in it being a negligent discharge. So this is what I'm going to tell you guys as you're competing and training, or whatever you guys got going on for whatever walk of life you are walking. If you have a negligent discharge, you should treat it like a big deal. You should not treat it like some nonchalant thing. For the 2 NDs I saw today, I think those shooters should reevaluate. They shouldn't just say, oh, it was over prep for the 2011 situation, or oh, it was just an accident because I was switching shoulders. No, all negligent discharges should be treated the exact same way. a serious issue, right? A training issue, a safety issue. So just because a range officer doesn't disqualify you, even though in my opinion, now keep in mind, I'm not some range, USPSA guru. I'm just a dude that can identify what is safe and what is unsafe, right? To me, a negligent discharge is unsafe, and breaking the 180 rule is unsafe. So I'll let you guys kind of chew on that and think about what your thoughts are on that. But I really don't care. Hey, breaking the 180 rule, or having a negligent discharge, that to me is automatic no-go. Okay, so make sure you guys are being safe. Don't go out there and get a freaking, don't go out there and have a negligent discharge, or break the 180. That's obvious rules. And now guys get DQ'd all the time. Neither of those shooters were DQ'd, right? So just some things to think about. Anyway, enjoy the footage of the comp. It should be a good, hopefully it's enjoyable for you guys to watch. Overall, the PSA Dagger is doing outstanding. We have 3 total malfunctions, 2 light primer strikes using AAC 124 grain ammunition, standard pressure, and 1 magazine. The mag just fell out of the gun. No, it was not me. Obviously, I have no ego in this fight. I would own up if it was me, right? So overall, the gun's running good. Just 2 light primer strikes, 1 weird thing where the mag fell out of the gun on the very first mag. But we'll keep running the gun, and overall, I am impressed with the PSA Dagger. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Hit the like button. Comment down below how you think the comp went. Let me know your thoughts on being disqualified for a negligent discharge, or if you've seen anything like that. And until next time, it's going to be Trench Grenade, your average PSA Dagger enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers. Hands over shoulder, right? Yep.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Stand by. If you're done unload, show clear. Stand by. If you're done unload, show clear. Slide. Ooh, if you're done unload, show clear. Stand by.
Wolverines!